Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's look at Beyond's indicators. So before I get started, I'm briefly going to read through a disclaimer. Please feel free to read along as well. Beyond Trader LLC is strictly a research publishing firm. The information we publish is based on our opinions plus our quantitative models, statistical and financial data, and independent research. This service is not registered with any financial regulatory agencies such as the SEC or any other organization or governmental body. By using our platform or our services, you acknowledge that we do not provide personalized recommendations or advice. Alternative asset classes are volatile investments and carry significant risk. Please do your own research before making any financial decisions. Okay, so let's get started and take a look at what's going on with our indicators at Beyond. So I think today I'm going to spend a good part discussing what is going on with one of our flagship indicators, and that is Biyond Atlas, because across the board, and not just with Bitcoin, but with many other cryptocurrencies, there's lots of interesting things happening that frankly need to be discussed into more detail. But before I start, I just want to discuss about Beyond Vanguard. So Beyond Vanguard is basically our trend detect indicator, and it had a very good start this week in that the 3-day had been moving into the blue zone for the first time, and that's been letting us know that we should be preparing to buy. However, we've had a bit of a false start so far in that we've had a rejection for the 94,000 area, and we didn't manage to move into the blue phase, which was something that into the green phase rather, which was something that we were hoping to do and also mirror what happened during a very comparable period of last spring. But so far, we're just remaining in the blue. So there's no real sign of any breakout in either direction. And I suspect that won't happen until we clear either the 94 or the 87,000 range. But at the moment, what I can tell you is the fact that the 3-day is still blue. It gives me some mild encouragement about the market. However, the thing to note is that some of our other timeframes are still looking pretty dire, i.e. the weekly hasn't changed yet. And the weekly wouldn't change until we really start to get moving in the upper bounds of the mid to late 90,000s. But certainly these other lower timeframes are a bit discouraging. But I will caveat that by saying that the 3-day really is a good time frame to look at and watch. And all the while that this is in the blue mode, there's still a good degree of hope that the market's going to move higher. So with that out the way, I think it's a good time to discuss what's going on with Beyond Atlas. So Beyond Atlas, as you know, is our key quant indicator that tracks many factors on the blockchain, not least money flow. And we see that with this inverted indicator, what should be happening is the further it drops down into the green zone or even starts to move down and points downward, then the path of least resistance is to the upside. Something you will note is that we've seen an extreme drop in Atlas over the last couple of weeks, and that's indicating that things are massively more improving on the blockchain. However, Bitcoin's price has still been lackluster, and as I mentioned earlier, we didn't get the follow through that we perhaps hoped to see as we moved upwards this week, and we pretty much moved back to starting levels. But there's a lot of encouragement now with Atlas moving lower and tracking towards the green zone. A couple of case studies for you here. The last time, just before the election, Atlas moved into the green zone. It turbocharged the buy signal, and Bitcoin subsequently went over 100% higher from the 50,000 area. Additionally, the last time we moved towards the green zone, it's kind of delegated a very strong buy signal. And obviously, we saw liftoff from 74,500 all the way up towards the 125 area and beyond. So we're moving into a similar stage now. And what we need to identify really over the next couple of days and watch out for very closely is, will this indicator move into the green zone and stay there? Hence, there'll be a much more sustainable and long-term buy signal that we need to keep a watch on, because that could give us a big heads up that Bitcoin is going to move back towards the top of its range, aka the 125 to 126 area. Or is it going to do something like it did previously and create this horrible kind of divergence where Atlas is going the wrong way and the price is going higher? So the price in Atlas should be tracking in opposite directions, because it's an inverted indicator. But the fact that Atlas continued to move higher up towards the highs, that was a red flag for us and obviously created divergence. So we're seeing Now, the opposite in the bullish divergence is that the price is at a standstill and Atlas is dropping, and that could create a ball under the water type effect where the price could suddenly explode higher because we are creating bullish divergence. So I guess the key points here to watch out for Atlas over the coming days is if it does move down to the green zone, which by the pace of the drop, it very much looks like it probably will do, will it stay under there or will it simply reverse? And I guess while we're on the topic of Biyond Atlas, the move is, I would say, widespread. And because of the blockchain factors, we're limited to the amount of coins that we can actually track. But you can see there's quite a decent set of coins that Atlas can match against, and they're all pretty much some of the top and more popular coins, such as ETH and XRP. But one coin that I wanted to really draw your attention to, and this is Link. And Link is kind of giving a heads up here, as it's the coin that is perhaps the closest to moving into the green zone. And it's also has previously performed extremely well after it's moved into the green zone. So Link is something to watch out for this week, in that it is a cryptocurrency that is very close to moving into the green zone, and that could really turbocharge Link higher. And I guess I want to finish by showing Ethereum, because I think many people have their money on Ethereum substantially outpacing the market, and it's also primed in a very good position. And it's, I would say, very quickly moving downwards. So again, there's a decent amount of positivity in terms of Atlas towards Ethereum moving into next week. But Bitcoin is going to be the standout for me. And obviously the proxy for the market could be Link. If it quickly drops into the green zone before other cryptocurrencies, it's well worth paying attention to. So yeah, lots of interesting things happening on our indicators this week. So I'm hopeful that if we do start to move towards the green zone or even inside it, then certainly we can move out of these boring range-bound conditions and hopefully higher. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it this week, and I'll see you again next Sunday.